In July of 1958, 3 years before the first human ever reached space, Superman Comics introduced a villain who felt impossibly futuristic. This was the Cold War era, an age of rocket experiments, UFO sightings, and atomic age imagination. Sputnik had launched just months earlier, and the world was suddenly looking upward. Even if we hadn't put a single person into orbit yet, the idea of space was everywhere. Science fiction was exploding, and comic book creators were dreaming far beyond what technology could do. It's worth remembering what kind of world Action Comics number 242 dropped into. 1958 marked Superman's 20th anniversary, 2 decades since his debut in 1938. In those 20 years, he'd gone from a Depression-era strongman to the most recognizable hero on Earth. And now, in 1958, he was stepping into the space age. America was changing fast. Elvis Presley was at the height of his early fame, with jailhouse rock echoing across the country and rock and roll reshaping youth culture. Dwight D. Eisenhower was president, steering the nation through Cold War tension and scientific competition with the Soviet Union. And just months before this comic hit shelves, Eisenhower had created a new agency. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, was officially born in 1958. So while the real world was only beginning to imagine rockets, satellites, and space exploration, Superman comics were already there. Into this world came Action Comics, number 242, the issue that changed Superman's mythology forever. It begins with a strange, silent saucer drifting toward Earth. Inside it is a cold, calculating alien android, one of the most advanced minds in the universe. His name is Brainiac. But Brainiac isn't here to conquer cities the way Earth had seen in earlier stories. He isn't here to fight Superman with brute strength. He arrives with a mission rooted in pure logic: to preserve civilizations by stealing them using impossible technology. Brainiac shrinks entire cities, seals them inside perfectly preserved bottles, and stores them like specimens. And on his ship, among countless worlds he's already captured, Superman discovers something astonishing: a surviving piece of Krypton. For the first time, Superman sees his people alive, miniaturized, unable to escape, and trapped by Brainiac's cold scientific obsession. That single moment reshaped Superman lore for decades to come. Kandor became one of the most emotional and iconic pieces of his history, a reminder of his lost home, a community he could never quite save, and a symbol of hope and responsibility that would follow him for generations. What makes this comic even more remarkable: humanity was still grounded on Earth. When Brainiac debuted in 1958, no human had ever been to space. But within just 3 years, everything changed. In 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space, followed by Alan Shepard and Gus Grissom, and then German Titov. By the end of 1962, John Glenn, Scott Carpenter, Andrian Nikolaev, Pavel Popovich, and Wally Schirra pushed the frontier even farther. Only 9 men had reached space, yet Superman Comics had imagined galaxies long before reality caught up. NASA itself was barely a year old, and yet, here were comic book creators imagining advanced androids, alien civilizations, shrinking technology, and interstellar travel. They weren't reflecting the world. They were inventing the future long before it arrived. Brainiac's debut wasn't just another sci-fi story, it was a turning point. A moment when Superman's universe fully embraced cosmic storytelling. A moment when fear, wonder, Cold War, anxiety, and pure imagination collided. This issue didn't just give us a villain, it gave us one of Superman's greatest adversaries. It gave us candor. It gave us history. It all started here. Action Comics, number 2. 242,